Hey everybody, welcome back. We are doing the official Scream character review. We did a lot of talk about what she was like in the Envoy video. MSF.GG has the official final in-game stats. No question what's what. No doubt about what we got from Scopely or anything along those lines. She's good. I'm liking it. Spoiler. Rah rah. But let's go we'll check out the abilities. I'll talk about the T4s. I've been using her a lot in raids, so I've got actually more of a feel for her than I normally do when I do these character reviews. So hopefully this one helps you guys out and get a good feel for how she's going to be.
Bring me WolverThor!
So as always, I go through the abilities first. Her basic, it's an attack primary target for 200% damage. Apply bleed, clear one positive effect. That's something that really went kind of underappreciated in my opinion. I actually forgot that it was even there as I was playing. I'm like, wait, how did that effect get cleared? And I'm like, oh, her basic has a positive or a clear as well. I'm like, okay. Chain to two adjacent targets for 150% damage. Apply bleed and clear one positive effect. So this basic is really sick. The T4 is additional 50% damage on the primary and adjacents, but most importantly, it will apply bleed on those adjacent hits, the two adjacent hits, which for me, in symbiotes, it's essential. I know normally it wouldn't be, but I did it. I already did it. I did it. Next up is the special. This will be your likely first turn ability unless you don't need it. And that's why one more reason why I upgraded the basic is I was finding that I wanted to save the special and ultimate a lot more for certain situations, so I would just basic a lot. And having that ability to do the bleed was big time. So anyway, back to the special. Attack primary target for 240% damage, clear one positive effect plus apply offense down, chain to two adjacent targets for 200% damage and clear one positive effect and apply offense down. And then obviously it goes into the chain of stealth targets, which I didn't mention in the basic. You know, I'm so used to it now, but the basic also chains to stealth targets, which is awesome, especially for Asgardians. The T4s here, an additional 40% of damage to both the primary and adjacent targets. It clears two positive effects from both the primary and the adjacent hits. I haven't done this one yet. I think it's a solid upgrade. It depends on who you're fighting. I think if you're fighting Asgardians in war and you really need that, I think it could be good. But I'm more testing them as raid folks now, and I haven't found a need for that quite yet. Next up is the ultimate, which is more of a turn 2 if you're going straight in order. But again, depending on what the situation is, you don't want to just throw this out there. Attack primary target for 250% damage. Apply slow for 1 turn and disrupted for 1 turn. Attack adjacent targets for 200% damage and apply slow for 1 turn and disrupted for 1 turn. Reduce speed bar for primary and secondary targets by 30%. Can't be blocked. T4s, additional 50% damage for both primary and adjacents. You get this part's the big one. You get the slow for 2 turns instead of 1. And that's for everybody. That to me was the biggest reason to do the ultimate. This was the first one that I did on her. I did this one because I wanted the slow for 2 turns, and the damage boost on it was pretty solid. So, yeah, essential. Yeah, I mean, with the symbiotes, 2 turns of slow on top of everything else that's going on. I mean, you technically have so much slow going on, you might not need it. I'm currently using the team called Ice Scream. Emma Frost with Scream and the symbiotes. Ice Scream. Get it? Frost. Ice. Anyway. Sorry. So, anyway, that ultimate's not bad. I did the T4. You could probably get away with not doing it. The passive. On death of any character, heal all symbiote allies for 5% of this character's max health, plus apply speed up for 2 turns. If this character has 3 or more symbiote allies, reduce all enemies' resistance by 30%. The T4 here is an additional 5% healing if on any character's death. I'll be straight up with you. At first, I loved this and thought it was essential. I haven't needed it yet. And, I mean, my Scream is 3 red stars, and that's it. She's 3 red stars, no more yellows, just 3. She's T14. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do love that, but I'm going to wait and see if it's really needed to keep these guys alive. So that's the general coverage of her abilities. Let's go check out the stats, which is probably what you're here for. Okay, so if those of you who don't know, I have this gigantic spreadsheet that I put all of the stats for all of the characters in the game in it, and then I rank them per category and have a general average rank. So if you're just looking at stats, it gives you an indication of where a character will rank out. I obviously have to baseline that. My baseline I use and I get from msf.gg. That is level 75, 7 yellow stars, 4 red stars, T14, and 25% star tech, along with passive level 4. Again, per msf.gg, fantastic website. It's a great bot as well on Discord. I highly recommend checking out the site and using the bot. So, Scream. Scream. So she comes in at a great spot at number 15. That's pretty good. I'm liking it. Just after Symbiote Spider-Man, Crystal Taskmaster. Her health rank at that baseline is 157, 106, 89. Again, that's pretty solid. Damage, loving this. You want to see something high for this. She seems to be the damage dealer of the team. You want to see something that high. Really like that. Armor, she came in at 48th. Not bad. 89, 78. You want her to be able to survive a bit, so that's pretty good. Focus, she came in at 74.56, which was 45th. You want this team to have a lot of focus. They need to be able to land the debuffs. This helps them get there. I'm liking that. If you're not landing the debuffs, forget about it. And my 3 red star, Scream, she's doing a pretty good job on Ultimus 7.5. There's not a lot of misses there. Resistance comes in at 69th. It's 60-75. Again, you want her to be able to resist maybe ability blocks, stuff like that. And that is one of the things that I found with this team in particular, that if they get ability blocked or blinded and extended with like a Scarlet Witch, you could be in problem. You can be in trouble, right? So I highly recommend making sure to focus on those type of characters that can ability block you early on, those Visions, Magnetos, those types of the world, anybody who's going to blind you, obviously. And then you'll survive pretty well. Next up here, obviously, you always want to have good speed. Hump 120. She's 17th. That's, just after Symbiote Spider-Man, just after or flip a coin with Taskmaster. So that's pretty good speed. Liking that. And then, so the average rank across the board was 45.8. If you scroll up here a little bit just to see kind of who's in front of her, spoiler, there's some pretty good tunes up here, right? So she's a top 15 type, and that's kind of what you expect from the newer tunes. They're typically going to be in this range because the game wants to, and Scopely wants to encourage us to buy them. So, yeah, 15's good, and can't wait to cover that guy. Whew, man. It's a bummer that he's probably milestones, huh? Anyway, we're talking about Scream. Ice Cream. So, and you want to see the Ice Cream team real quick? I'll show you that. So, Ice Cream. And I cannot take credit for this, but it's this team here. So, it's the Symbiotes plus Emma Frost, like I said. I've got the 427 team. I did a Scream video raid testing the other day to kind of showcase some of this. I'm continuing to use this. I'm continuing to love them. The more I test them, the more I like them. Emma Frost ends up not getting a ton of turns because they go so fast, which is kind of goofy and weird. But now I will say I'm still wondering how they're going to do on the most difficult nodes like Oh Brother, etc. You really need to make sure that Venom's got that defense up. You want a big, beefy Venom. He's got to take some hits and be above that 95% so that he can have that defense up. Because you don't have a yo-yo. Anyway, Ice Cream. That's Ice Cream. Okay, so quick outro. She's good. That's it? Yep, pretty much. I mean, I like her kit. I like what she brings to the symbiotes and raid. I really want to see how good Anti-Venom makes it for them and if they become a little bit more consistent in raid and those stronger nodes. If so, I'm going to really love it. Really love it. We'll get into the ISO and these type of teams in a bit. We're going to come out with a graphic for that. Promise. A lot of people have been hitting us up on it. We will do it. We're definitely testing stuff. We're checking things out. We want to put something on there so that the graphic's there for you and you can keep it and know that it's pretty solid, right? So we'll get to that too. So anyway, what do you think? You guys like her? I'm sure some of you who already bought her are loving it. For those of you who are wondering about the campaign, if you're a free-to-play player, I would definitely, if you've got a stack, of course, to use those 50 refreshes each day to try to get as many shards of her as you can. Hopefully you got some good red star drops. It does definitely help her survive and get those heals across the board. So that's all I got. Again, hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to come to the Discord to discuss, the link for that is in the description below. If you'd hammer down on that like button, notification bell, subscriptions, things, all that stuff, share with the alliance mates, etc. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.